Chapter 927. Tipping Point. Bastard, how dared you betray us? Xiong Jiqing pointed to He Yulong in disbelief. His heart was torn apart by the betrayal. Captain, I didn't betray you. Everyone from the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan said the lives of those 3 people have nothing to do with us. He Yulong stepped forward and said, Nothing to do with us? How naive. Xiong Jiqing sneered, Have you forgotten the rules of our bear team? If this news is spread, does our bear team still have a footing in Chaos Demon Sea? In Chaos Demon Sea, reputation was the prime thing in this chaotic place. With the bear team's strength, if there was no good reputation, the team had no way to gain a footing in Chaos Demon Sea. No one would be willing to cooperate with them at all. It would be a dead end with no other way out. This was why Xiong Jiqing agreed to cooperate with Yi Shiwen and the others. It's fine. As long as we kill them all, no one will know, said He Yulong hastily. Apparently, he had been thinking about it for a long time. He had already thought about everything in detail. When he said this, He Yulong's expression was abnormally ferocious, as if he was talking about an enemy with great hatred. Tisk, you're just someone Elder Brother Yi had defeated. You dare to conspire against us. Elder Brother Yi is too merciful. You don't deserve to live. Sneered by Hanmo. He recognized He Yulong at first sight. He immediately became vigilant. If Xiong Jiqing cooperated with He Yulong, then they might be in danger. Yao Qian and Yi Shiwen were both in close cultivation. No one could deal with the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan's expert. Fortunately, Xiong Ziqing's reaction made him understand the situation. It did not happen as he imagined. He Yulong did not go through Xiong Jiqing and called the shots on his own. Shut up. Do you think you can leave safely today? He Yulong yelled with a distorted expression. He was holding back his anger. You all are going to die today. Don't even think of leaving. All his anger poured out towards Bai Hanmo. If his eyes could kill people, Bai Hanmo would have been cut by slashes. However, it was a pity that Bai Hanmo ignored this gaze. He didn't care. He Yulong, I didn't expect you to become like this. Xiong Jiqing pointed at He Yulong and growled with a bit of distress and disappointment. You're unscrupulous. Have you forgotten what I have taught you? What's going on? Who the hell is he? He humiliated me, and yet you don't help me but them. I'm the one disappointed instead. He Yulong's face was hideous like a madman. He had never been humiliated before. Yi Shiwen taught him a miserable lesson. He couldn't even sustain an attack. In the end, Yi Ziwen's words made him faint too. In this case, Yi Shiwen must be one of the best to achieve such a feat. Yi Shiwen stomped all his self-esteem, like trampling on trash. What drove him crazy the most was that Xiong Jiqing didn't choose him against a person who humiliated him so badly. Instead, he decided to help Yi Shiwen. For him, this was simply the most unbearable thing. He felt that he was the one who was betrayed. He only thought that the whole world owed him. At this moment, his only thought was to vent out his rage. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan expert came to him. Both sides hit it off at once. He joined with the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts in pursuit. Great, all my efforts to teach you have turned you into this. Xiong Jiqing blurted with a twisted smile due to the overwhelming anger. He now discovered that the gap between He Yulong and Yi Shiwen was like heaven and earth. Not only because of the difference in combat strength, but it was also even more so in terms of being a person. Now, in his opinion, even the most ignorant Bai Hanmo was 10,000 times more sensible than He Yulong. Fortunately, he had not handed the bear team over to him yet. Otherwise, the team would be done for. Stop wasting time on this nonsense. Since these people are stubborn, then kill them all, said Yi Hong impatiently at this time. He was only interested in Yi Shiwen. If he couldn't break him into pieces, his journey here had no meaning. Captain, you still have time to take your stance here now. He Yulong persuaded, don't sacrifice yourself for that guy. It's too stupid, it's not worth it. Seeing He Yulong said this, Xiong Jiqing had utterly given up any hope for him. His disappointed expression was beyond words. If this is the case, then there's no need to talk. Xiong Jiqing shook his head. His expression was firm. There was a saying, Do not work with people of different beliefs. The bear team held this principle closely. Breaking faith and treachery might not pose a problem short-term. But a soulless team would disband sooner or later. The bear team was his life effort. Ruining it was the same as running his life. Since you don't repent and still want to help that guy, don't blame me for being cruel. He Yulong's face was distorted. His hatred for Yi Shiwen turned him blind. He only had disgust for the former captain in his heart. Senior, there's no need to talk to him anymore. Bai Hanmo shook his head and said. He released his aura with his expression becoming serious. He had never been so serious. Fight with all you have. Tisk, interesting. I like it. I want to tear your flesh and blood piece by piece and eat it. The black-cloaked figure laughed wickedly. He opened his cloak. It turned out to be a demonic sea beast warrior with a head resembling a lizard. It was not a sea clan but a demonic sea beast clan because the demonic aura emanating from him was unmistakable. Everyone could feel it. Let me introduce myself. I am Yi Rui, one of the 4 warriors under the prince. The demonic sea beast expert introduced himself. Tell me the whereabouts of Yi Shiwen honestly. Otherwise, you will suffer a fate worse than death. His tone was wicked chill. Why didn't the prince come here in person? Bai Hanmo asked. During this period, he also knew some of the grievances between Yi Shiwen and the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. The hatred was as deep as the sea. Yi Shiwen came to the Chaos Demon Sea, to a large extent, was to avoid the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan's pursuit. Among the younger generation, the prince headed the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan expert. I'm just disposing of a few bugs. The prince doesn't need to come in person. Yi Rui sneered without taking Bai Hanmo's words to heart. In his mind, the prince had status way beyond them. Why would he come in person? In his heart, the prince was like a god, and the prince's enemy was his enemy. Let's skip the talking and just fight. Bai Hanmo yelled. At the same time, he was slightly relieved. If Crown Prince Crocodile came, then they were dead. Despite his carefree and indifferent attitude, Bai Hanmo wasn't an arrogant fool. Among the younger generation, Crown Prince Crocodile was definitely at the forefront. There were very few people who could contend with the prince, at least not him. If Bai Yin at Transcendent Realm 7th level was already terrifying, then Crown Prince Crocodile was a terrifying existence beyond this. Unless it was the unparalleled sword, it was impossible to suppress Crown Prince Crocodile at all. Since you refuse to say it, then all shall die. At this time, Yi Rui instantly rushed towards Bai Hanmo. The terrifying force tore through the vast sky. A black figure went straight to Bai Hanmo. The terrifying power of Transcendent Realm 7th level was at full display. Bang! Another figure blocked Yi Rui's figure. It was none other than Xiong Jiqing. I'm your opponent, said Xiong Jiqing coldly. The power that belonged to Transcendent Realm 7th level was released entirely in an instant. The two of them were like 2 big mountains. They smashed into each other hard and set off a boundless wave of air, sweeping out in all directions. Can you stop me? Yi Rui let out a cold snort at this moment, and intense killing intent flashed in his eyes. The clash of 2 Transcendent Realm 7th level experts escalated the scene. Their battle continued up in the sky. On the other side, UCC faced Yulong. I didn't expect that the thief within us would make us so vulnerable. In the end, it will be you who betrayed us. The captain treats you so well. He taught you to become the next captain of our bear team. In the end, you thank him like that? UCC scolded. The next captain? Does he treat me to like a successor? He allowed someone to humiliate me so badly. Is this his treatment? Yulong roared. Don't think that I don't know. He has already planned to make you the successor. Everything is biased towards you. You are beyond help. You have fallen too deeply, said UCC coldly, not wanting to argue further. I'm beyond help? I don't need anyone to help me anyway. You lots are dead. The bear team will be mine. I will tell everyone that you all died in the hands of the demonic sea beasts in Chaos Demon Sea. Who will find out what happens? Yulong laughed aloud. His expression was hideous. Chapter 928, I won't do this kind of thing, shameless. UCC was already irritated. At this time, she was boiling with anger. She yelled and rushed over to Hyulong. I'm here to take your life. UCC's figure directly rushed out and attacked Hyulong. In the bear team, UCC and Hyulong were undoubtedly the best, widely known successors. But now, the two were fighting each other with no mercy. Brat, do you want to stop me? Yi Hong sneered and looked at Bai Hanmo in front of him. Although Bai Hanmo hadn't taken a shot yet, he didn't think that Bai Hanmo would be worthy of being his opponent. In his memory, Bai Hanmo was nothing more than a kid following behind Yao Qian. He wouldn't even take Yao Qian seriously. Although she seemed alright, there was still a big gap between him and her. Let's try it out. Bai Hanmo yelled violently. His figure immediately swept out. A white jade sword appeared in his hand. He launched a white jade horse in midair. This was the first time he made a sword attack. Even when he came to Chaos Demon Sea, he had never made a sword attack. Now that he did, it showed how serious he took the fight with Yi Hong. He watched the battle between Yi Shiwen and Yi Hong. Naturally, he knew Yi Hong was not a simpleton. If he did not go all out, he would be defeated in a moment. Leave this brat to me. You guys go and search for Yi Shiwen. Yi Hong said to the several cloaked demonic sea beast experts behind him. Yes, sir. These demonic sea beast experts wearing cloaks disappeared directly. You're courting death, brat. I will fulfill your death wish. Yi Hong sneered. A pair of steel claws appeared in his hand, glowing with a faint cold light. Facing Bai Hanmo, who was rushing over, he launched his steel claws immediately. His speed was breakneck. Despite Bai Hanmo attacking first, his attack came faster. His physical body was oppressive, capable of tearing the entire air casually like a peerless, vicious beast. Ding! With a sound like a collision between metal and jade, the white jade longsword in Bai Hanmo's hand burst into a terrifying milky white sword light, which split the sky in an instant. The milky sword light and the opposing steel claws collided hard. As if something had collapsed, the air instantly exploded. Two horrible rays of light smashed together, forming a spherical energy ball that exploded instantly and swept in all directions. Surprise flashed in Yi Hong's eyes. A person who was far from himself previously managed to exchange blows with him. Although they were both at Transcendent Realm 6th level, their physical strength had a deep gap. Like how Bai Yin could easily kill Xiong Jiqing, there was still a difference among the same cultivation realm warriors. Bai Hanmo sneered. During this period he had made outstanding progress aside from Yi Shiwen. He realized for the first time that his experience was too little. Otherwise, his cultivation realm would be more than that. The adventure was fruitful to him. This kind of experience could release his accumulated potential perfectly. He was unmatched to Yi Hong during the first encounter. However, he had no reluctance against Yi Hong with his Transcendent Realm 6th level peak. Even if not because Yi Shiwen and Yao Qian were already in close cultivation, forcing him to omit entering close cultivation, he would have attained Transcendent Realm 7th level some time ago. Although Transcendent Realm 7th level and 6th level had only one level of difference, the difference in combat strength should not be undermined. All in all, Transcendent Realm 6th level was at the Transcendent Realm Intermediate caliber, but Transcendent Realm 7th level was considered Transcendent Realm late caliber. It was a significant gap. But even so, Bai Hanmo was not intimidated at all, waving the white sword in his hand and rushing up again. Yi Hong's eyes became a little dignified. Bai Hanmo was more difficult to fight than he thought and even more challenging to kill. Bai Hanmo's combat strength had exceeded his imagination. Although he had witnessed Bai Hanmo's combat strength once before, it was not so strong at that time. However, his hesitation was only for an instant. Immediately, the steel claws in his hand grabbed Yi Shiwen again. Under the control of his 5 fingers, he instantly tore the sky, forming a terrifying air current, and swept it down. Jade-breaking demon beast claw. Yi Hong's hands grew bigger with dense qi entangled on them in the sky. Jade layers surfaced on the steel claws equipped on both his hands. He grabbed toward Bai Hanmo directly. It was paramount to deliver the fiercest attack once he took a move. After recognizing that Bai Hanmo was not as easy to deal with as he imagined initially, he mustered all his strength to deliver a full-out blow. He would not allow Bai Hanmo to turn the table like Yi Shiwen did. After suffering a loss in Yi Ziwen's hands, he was cautious. He would never let the same thing happen again. As for Bai Hanmo, who was facing this attack, he intensified the terrifying sword light, forming a white rainbow, and slashed out directly. Boom! The two terrifying powers produced an explosion in midair. It set off a monstrous wave, forming a rain in the sky. Facing Yi Hong at Transcendent Realm's 6th level peak, Bai Hanmo did not lose out at all. Generally speaking, everyone has their limits. Different warriors have entirely different limits. The talented one could absorb more power. That was the reason for the difference in combat strengths despite being in the same realm. The fight between the two was far more oppressive than the average Transcendent Realm's 6th level expert. Yi Hong sent out water waves, dashed straight up, and rushed to Bai Hanmo. His physical strength was too tyrannical. In addition to having suffered a loss in Yi Ziwen's hands, he had not suffered a loss in anyone else's hands. This time, he planned to utilize his tyrannical body cultivation to crush Bai Hanmo to death. The claw phantoms occupied the entire sky. The attack streaked across the sky and landed on Bai Hanmo. Bai Hanmo stepped back a little. He warped the sword light in the air on himself. When the claw phantoms caught on him, the sword lights had crushed them all. These sword lights were mighty in both offense and defense. Brat, you have a great talent. If you become my follower, your future will be limitless. Yi Hong roared and even thought of conquering his enemy. He was envious of how the prince conquered and recruited the demonic sea beast experts as his 4 warriors. Generally speaking, the powerhouse had many followers around them, especially those in major clans or forces. Many people wanted to be the powerhouse followers, but how could he recruit just about anyone? Not everyone could be the powerhouse's followers. Generally speaking, the more influential the person, the stronger the follower. These followers might be their admirers or the enemies the powerhouse had defeated. These demonic sea beast experts became the prince's followers because they were defeated in the prince's hands. Eventually, they had become his followers. In Yi Hong's opinion, the Bai Hanmo in front of him was qualified to be his follower. He was talented and strong. If he could have such a follower by his side, not only could he resolve many things, but most importantly, it would improve his reputation. Become your follower? What are you? I'm afraid you don't have the qualifications to make me your follower. Bai Hanmo yelled. The sword light in his hand became more intense. He broke off the claw phantoms and darted toward Yi Hong directly. Bai Hanmo progressed rapidly. On the other hand, Yi Hong had excellent talents. In terms of background, it far exceeded him. With Yi Hong's tyrannical body, it was easy for him to become restrained in front of Yi Hong. If he wanted to resolve this unfavorable situation, he must be the first to attack. The fundamental essence of the sword was offense rather than defense. The sword user would never cower. They ran by the doctrine. With one sword in his hand, he would conquer the world. The sword in his hand could defeat anything. Stubborn. Today marks the death of Yi Shiwen and Yao Qian. Are you going to die along with them? Said Yi Hong viciously, not giving up the opportunity to convince Bai Hanmo. It was not typical to come across such a follower. If it weren't for driving Bai Hanmo to a dead end today, he wouldn't have considered convincing Bai Hanmo. After becoming his follower, he naturally had a way to deal with Bai Hanmo. By that time, Bai Hanmo was within his grasp already. He had all his ways to control Bai Hanmo. Ha, stupid crocodile. Do you think I'm someone like you, a coward that betrays your friends? I won't do this kind of thing. Bai Hanmo yelled and fought fiercely with Yi Hong. Damn it, stubborn human. Yi Hong gave up entirely trying to convince Bai Hanmo. In his eyes, a fierce light flickered. Since he couldn't put Bai Hanmo for his use, he would not allow Bai Hanmo to live. The claw phantoms in his hand flickered. A monstrous wave that was under his control swept across the opponent. It morphed into a massive crocodile capable of devouring the sky and lunged at Bai Hanmo. Heaven and earth were trembling in front of the vicious crocodile. Chapter 929. bouncing back from desperation. "Trash, I will end your life." Bai Hanmo sneered again and again. The white jade long sword in his hand emitted rays of brilliance. He was like the deity of the sword Tao. As he waved his sword down, the entire sky appeared as though being split apart. There was an earth-shattering collision between the two. The massive crocodile phantom slammed into Bai Hanmo's long sword light. The terrifying and fierce light exploded. The white jade sword in Bai Hanmo's hand seemed magical, blooming with endless brilliance as if to destroy the world. This white jade longsword was not simple, but Yi Hong was not a simpleton in the same way. That massive crocodile was also unprecedentedly mighty. Two terrifying forces collided fiercely in the air. Countless air collapsed in an instant. The endless brilliant divine light, mixed with sword light, slammed together and danced around wildly. The air collapsed layer by layer in everyone's eyes. Bai Hanmo yelled violently. The sword light instantly penetrated the massive and fierce crocodile. It immediately turned into a water tide in the sky. These waters were also not ordinary. Every drop was heavy, and it struck Bai Hanmo in an instant. Although Bai Hanmo was able to block some of it, he couldn't block all the water droplets. Boom, boom, boom. Bai Hanmo let out a muffled groan. These extremely heavy water droplets knocked him away. A mouthful of blood spurted out. There was still a gap between his strength and Yi Hong. Although his potential exceeded Yi Hong, it was clear that his potential had not been fully transformed into strength. In other words, he had wasted his potential because of his character and playful nature. Bai Hanmo was blasted away for a distance before he could barely stop himself. He fixed his eyes on Yi Hong. Only then did he regret it. If he had been working hard since the start, the situation would not turn out like this. Even if he could enter the Transcendent Realm 7th level, he could easily kill Yi Hong. He would not end up in such a sorry state. Only then did he finally understand what Yao Qian said. He was indeed a genius. It was hard to encounter a worthy opponent in the same realm. Among his peers, there were very few having the speed faster than him. He could outmatch most people. In his life and the world he came into contact with, he was destined to encounter not only warriors whose strength was much lower than him, but also opponents whose strength was much higher than him. By then, it would be the time for the real test. Although Yi Hong's strength was far from being much more robust than his, even a slight gap could cause fatal consequences in this high-level battle, not to mention such a noticeable gap. Under this blow, Bai Hanmo was blown away again and spurted with blood, but Yi Hong did not stop. Although his strength was more potent than Bai Hanmo, it was only slightly rather than an overwhelming advantage. Bai Hanmo made an all-out effort to fight him. Yi Hong also suffered minor shock. However, he didn't stop at this time but chased out again. A territory quickly spread out, enveloping Bai Hanmo in it. "I offer you a chance, yet you still hang on your death wish. Why don't you cherish it? Go to hell." Yi Hong laughed aloud. In his opinion, Bai Hanmo, who had fallen into his territory, was already at a dead end. There shouldn't be many people like Yi Shiwen who could forcibly break apart the territory. "Stop your nonsense. You're not worthy of subduing me?" Bai Hanmo sneered. He appeared like a madman in his sorry state, but his pride still shot to the sky. He couldn't care less about anything at this time. His only plan was to delay time, no matter if it was for Yao Qian or Yi Shiwen. Every minute delayed was previous. He got to delay Yi Hong and the rest. Otherwise, it would be a disaster for Yi Shiwen and Yao Qian in close cultivation. The aftermath of the battle was tremendous. He believed that Yi Shiwen and Yao Qian could feel that even in close cultivation. What he had to do now was to wait for them to exit from their close cultivation. He swore to hold these enemies and not to let them rush into the oceanic trench. Bai Hanmo flew out suddenly and once again approached Yi Hong. In the heavy water territory, his speed was undoubtedly slower. The droplets of heavy water were all over the sky. The strong wind accompanied each hulking droplet. Once it slapped on a person's body, it was equivalent to being bombarded with a punch. The corner of Bai Hanmo's mouth spilled blood, but he had no way to stop it. At this time, he had to retreat to hold on. "Since you want to die, Then I will fulfill your death wish. Yi Hong sneered. All of the power in his body began to boil and scattered all at once. He stepped forward. The heavy water territory seemed to be under intense stimulation. It began to magnify crazily. In the heavy water territory, the only law he had was the law of gravity. Under the law of gravity, Bai Hanmo could hardly move an inch. Come here, trash. Bai Hanmo roared, looking at Yi Hong with bloodshot eyes. On the other hand, the two battlefield situations were in crisis, especially Xiong Ziqing's battlefield. He was beaten into retreat. Although they were both in Transcendent Realm 7th level and Yi Rui's strength was far inferior to Bai Yin, Xiong Ziqing had no way to resist. Yi Rui turned out to be quite tyrannical. He had already entered the Transcendent Realm 7th level peak, which was much stronger than Xiong Ziqing. Captain Xiong directly vomited blood amidst his retreat. Fortunately, since there was no overwhelming advantage similar to Bai Yin, there was no fatal threat for a while despite Xiong Ziqing continually retreating. However, the whole situation was terrible. On the other side, the battle between Yu Cixi and He Yulong was the fiercest. Yu Cixi was angry that He Yulong had betrayed their bear team, which caused the dangerous situation to happen and almost wiped out the entire team. She even thought that He Yulong had lost his mind to utilize dirty tricks to get the bear team. He Yulong had long been blinded by hatred. He was too ambitious, just thinking that after killing Xiong Ziqing and Yu Cixi, he could gain control of the bear team. The past friendship worth nothing in his opinion at this time. It was nothing but a joke. It was an intense battle. The horrifying exchange of blows sent out flesh and blood everywhere. Between the two sides, there were no reservations. Each punch had the intention to kill. Both were in a sorry state with mutilated wounds everywhere, even with some of their bones broken. Similar to the situation on Xiong Ziqing's side, He Yulong also had the absolute upper hand. Since he was Xiong Ziqing's preferred successor previously, Xiong Ziqing diverted all efforts and resources in the emphasis of growing He Yulong's strength. In this life and death battle, He Yulong defeated Yu Cixi gradually. He had bloodshot eyes due to the pain in his body and the ambition in his heart. At this time, he could no longer care less about friendship. He had utterly dwelled in the idea of beheading her. Yu Cixi was in a berserk state. She fought without thinking of her life and death. She was determined to do it for Xiong Ziqing, kill He Yulong, and eliminate the team's betrayer. Haha, it's useless. You are dead today. Anyone who dares to stand in front of me will die. At this time, He Yulong's eyes were bloodshot. He yelled frantically. You must die, He Yulong. Today, I must eliminate the betrayer in the team for the captain before I die. Yu Cixi went berserk. Her obsession was to eradicate the team's betrayer. This obsession supported her to fight until now. Both had cooperated and fought side by side for many years. They knew each other's fighting styles and even what tricks each other had. Naturally, in front of this person, there was no opening to be opportunistic. The only way was a direct attack without considering any opportunistic tricks. Since they knew each other too well, a head-to-head battle was the most efficient. Boom, boom, boom. The fist fight was surreal. Once again, both were blown away from each other. This time, Yu Cixi could not get up again. After He Yulong severely injured her just now, her breath was so weak. Her vitality began to lose quickly, unable to get up anymore. Ah, you have a death wish. You dare to go against me. The bear team is mine. No one can get involved. He Yulong laughed out loud with blood overflowing from the corner of his mouth. As he laughed wildly while continually coughing up blood, the scene was horrifying. He eradicated a long-standing enemy in one move. He Yulong stood up in difficulty. Although standing up was tough, he was much stronger than Yu Cixi. The chi on his body boiled again. He darted toward Yu Cixi to kill her. Suddenly, a dazzling sword light pierced the vast sky, slashed through the sky and the earth in an instant, and came in He Yulong's direction. He Yulong, who was already severely injured, was shocked. He quickly moved away, hiding in his surroundings. But this sword light was swift. Even if he was in the peak state, he could not avoid it, let alone he was now in a state of serious injury. Puff, In an instant, the sword light pierced He Yulong's neck and tore an opening. He Yulong's head slipped directly from his body. Chapter 930, Stunning the audience. Yi Hong directly pushed Bai Hanmo into an uphill battle. Bai Hanmo had his speed dropped due to the heavy water territory. It became much worse than before. Without speed, Bai Hanmo lacked ways to launch attacks. Today marks your death anniversary date. Eventually, your life will be in my grasp. Yi Hong sneered. The steel claws on Yi Hong's hand burst out limitless light as if it could tear the world apart. After all, the steel claws were an excellent human-level martial art instrument. It was not an exaggeration to say that it could tear the sky apart. The space that the claws grasped was distorted with 5 lines drawn in the sky. But since you are here, then Yi Shiwen and Yao Qian should be around here too. Yi Hong sneered and said, I want to see if they will come out when you die. I will raise everything to the ground. I don't believe that Yi Shiwen will not come out. Bai Hanmo was surprised, having the weakness of his side pointed out. At this time, if Yi Hong were to go all out in ruining this place, it wouldn't take long for him to damage the oceanic trench where Yi Shiwen hid. That would be the most terrible situation. With Yi Hong's ability and character, it was inevitable that this would be his next move. I have to do everything I can to stop him. You are full of nonsense. Bai Hanmo sneered, wielded the white jade long sword in his hand, and rushed out. The attack directly pierced the void, splitting countless air. Bai Hanmo appeared formidable in this strike, with the air trembling. Death wish. Yi Hong imbued the boundless divine light directly into his steel claws and slammed into Bai Hanmo in midair. Countless air which the steel claws passed by had exploded. A storm of destruction swept out. Yi Hong's relentless attack was unstoppable. Bai Hanmo retreated with another mouthful of blood spurted out. It appeared he had suffered a fatal injury. Yi Hong was overjoyed and chased forward directly, approaching Bai Hanmo. A smug smile flashed at the corner of Bai Hanmo's mouth. The already weak arms suddenly tensed up. The long sword hand pierced directly into Yi Hong's body. This surprise caught Yi Hong entirely off guard. He didn't expect that Bai Hanmo still had the strength to inflict severe injury on him. Or, to be more precise, Bai Hanmo would fake injury to lure him. After tricking him over, Yi Hong suffered heavy losses in the sword attack. After a severe sword thrust on Yi Hong, Bai Hanmo was delighted. His scheme was the final resort. In the heavy water territory, Yi Hong was the only true god. Under the gravity, there was no way for Bai Hanmo to utilize his speed. In this case, it was better to lure Yi Hong in approaching him. You dare to hurt me. It will make you suffer. Yi Hong's expression was distorted. He went mad for being injured by someone he belittled before. Yi Hong laughed angrily, grabbing forward with the steel claws in his hand. This grasp collapsed an area of space, making it terrifying. The steel claw's speed was so fast that it instantly caught Bai Hanmo's body. Boom! Bai Hanmo's chest was caught, and it was severely mutilated. His figure flew out directly, suffering severe damage. Bai Hanmo was blasted out and flew directly for dozens of miles before he stopped. Yi Hong's steel claws tore apart flesh pieces with blood still dripping on it. The impact broke many of Bai Hanmo's bones too. I have never been in such a sorry state before. Bai Hanmo chuckled. A tyrannical aura on his body started to boil. His skin began to turn into the color of jade. However, only death awaits you. He seemed to have made up his mind and let go of some restraints. This battle incited his anger. His next move would be merciless. Only by beheading Yi Hong could he get rid of his hatred. Yi Hong shuddered when he saw Bai Hanmo's action, although he didn't know the exact reason. He could feel an oppressive aura surging on Bai Hanmo. He didn't know what Bai Hanmo was planning, but his instinct warned him to stop Bai Hanmo immediately. If the situation continued, he might be in danger. I will win in the end. It is undeniable that both you and Yi Shiwen have amazing talents. Even in the future, I will not be able to contend with you. But so what? You both have not fully developed yet. Only death awaits. Water attribute cheese fluctuated continuously on Yi Hong's body. His expression was icy. It was undeniable that at this moment, he felt fear as if he had encountered Yi Shiwen, who had turned the table before. The memory Yi Shiwen left him at that time was so deep. He never even thought that his territory would be torn apart one day. If Yi Shiwen grew to the same level as him one day, it would be a disaster. Yi Shiwen, who had a terrifying combat power, could crush him as though he was a minute ant. Therefore, he would not sit still while watching this happen. In his mind, geniuses weren't intimidating. He had witnessed many geniuses perished. For him, there was no place for this kind of warrior. Their only destination should be death. With this thought in mind, he continued to take action, to chase and kill Yi Shiwen, and vowed not to stop. Facing Bai Hanmo brought up his previous memory in facing Yi Shiwen, making him panicked. Unfortunately, you have no chance. Today, you must die. Yi Hong's expression was a bit cold and hideous. Bai Hanmo kept coughing up blood and said with a smile, "Trash, you are still far behind from defeating me." Stubborn. Yi Hong sealed the severe wound on his body which Bai Hanmo's sword inflicted. Immediately, he darted in Bai Hanmo's direction. "I'm unreconciled with this. If I have the chance again, I will cultivate with hard work. I will never let this kind of trash kill me." Bai Hanmo was unwilling, shouting in his heart. He was unwilling to lose. With his eyes closed, he was powerless to resist this wave of attack. He hated it so much in his heart. He hated himself for not cultivating vigorously in the past. This would lead to such a situation. If he cultivated well and attained Transcendent Realm 7th level, or even Transcendent Realm 8th level, everything would be no doubt a piece of cake. But in his heart he had never regretted this trip. He acted like a child in his style and so on. However, he understood what he wanted. Despite the carefree personality, he was not a fool. He knew what he was doing and what he wanted to do. Although life was precious, some things were more important than life. Although he was unwilling to die at this time, he never regretted it. A violent shout came out from the seabed. An unparalleled sword aura swooshed out. The glaring sword light enveloped this area. The sea waves where the sword aura passed were automatically slashed in half. This sword aura, compared to the sword aura issued by Bai Hanmo just now, was many times tyrannical. At this time, it bombarded Yi Hong fiercely. When Yi Hong, who was still acting arrogant, faced this sword aura, he was like a child. All his defenses were directly torn apart. Sword aura impacted his physical body in an instant. Yi Hong suddenly felt that a horrible sword aura running rampant in his body. His figure was launched away into the sky. He immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. Several sword auras appeared at the same time. Those demonic sea beast experts in black cloaks, who wanted to hunt Yi Shiwen down, were instantly beheaded. Their strength was not even as good as Bai Hanmo and Yi Hong. At this time, they were completely vulnerable, thus allowing the sword aura to blast them into clusters of blood mist. Who? At this time, only Yi Hong could barely raise his head and shout. A terrifying aura in the sea instantly soared. An unimaginable tyrannical aura swept out in the sea. The terrifying aura separated the seawater. A cyan figure flew out and stepped on the thin air under the sword light. "How is it possible? How could it be you?" Yi Hong said in disbelief as he looked at the cyan figure. That figure was none other than Yi Shiwen, whom he was hunting. Yi Hong stared at Yi Shiwen dumbfounded, unable to believe that it turned out to be Yi Shiwen. The feeling was different from the time when Yi Shiwen stayed low. Yi Shiwen revealed his sharp demeanor openly like he was an unsheathed sword. Anyone dared to glimpse over would feel vulnerable as though something was going to stab into them at any second. Moreover, Yi Shiwen grew stronger after the advancement. Although the previous Yi Shiwen was dreadful, it was not too big of a threat in the end. Yi Shiwen defeated Yi Hong with much effort in the past rather than how easy it looked at this moment. He killed a group of demonic sea beast experts with ease too. These were the prince's guard. They belonged to the elite among the experts. Although they were not as good as Yi Rui, they were the backbones. However, Yi Shiwen dealt with them without even sweating. These demonic sea beasts experts could not fight back at all. Tian notes, "I made an error. Starting from chapter 920, the experts following Yi Hong were sea demon clans rather than demonic sea beast clans. Chapter 931, Transcendent Realm 4th Level. This terrifying combat power immediately frightened him. He suddenly realized that the former enemy that he swore to hunt down had become so alarming. Seeing Yi Shiwen undergoing a change with the gap akin to heaven and earth, he immediately thought of something. Did Yi Shiwen attain a breakthrough? Relatively speaking, the changes from Transcendent Realm 3rd level to 4th level did not seem much. Although there were some changes entering the 4th level from the 3rd level in the case of Yi Hong, it was not a shocking upgrade. However, the person who completed this transformation was Yi Shiwen. At Transcendent Realm 3rd level, Yi Shiwen could already contend with Transcendent Realm 6th level expert, let alone now. Since he attained Transcendent Realm 4th level, he had reached the Transcendent Realm intermediate stage, throwing away his past self at Transcendent Realm initial stage. His combat power had undergone earth-shaking changes. This terrified Yi Hong the most. Impossible, how could it be you? How could you have a breakthrough in such a short period? At this time, Yi Hong was still stunned, unable to believe the facts before him. At this time, he remembered the file about Yi Shiwen in the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. It said that every time Yi Shiwen emerged, his strength was fundamentally different from the past. Each advancement involved a considerable gap. It was accurate to say that the clan had been watching Yi Shiwen's growth. Faced with this baffling scene, there were only two explanations. One explanation was that Yi Shiwen was hiding his strength. Next, he could break through continuously. Hiding one's true strength wasn't surprising, but if it were a constant breakthrough, that would be genuinely shocking. It indicated that Yi Shiwen had a remarkable talent. At least, no one could continuously ascend like him in such a short time. Such an enemy was paramount to be killed in the cradle. Continuous failure would allow this terrifying enemy to grow to such an ominous realm. It was a fatal threat for the entire clan. Yi Shiwen did not answer Yi Hong but stared at Yi Hong coldly and said, "Everyone who comes here today will have to die." Yi Shiwen's palms spread out with a ball of flame materialized in it. It instantly turned into a fiery saber aura and shot out immediately. Yi Hong, who had suffered a terrible injury, couldn't stop it at all. He was instantly cut in half. Both his spirit and the body were slashed in half. Everyone stared at this scene in a daze. A Transcendent Realm 6th level proud talent could not even stop a slash coming from Yi Shiwen. Yi Hong was instantly beheaded. For everyone it was like a miracle. Especially by Hanmo, he had been dragging the fight with Yi Hong to the present, so he knew Yi Hong's combat power most clearly. Naturally, he grasped how terrifying Yi Hong was. Even if he tried his best, he couldn't deal with Yi Hong. Yi Shiwen slashed the opponent into half without breaking a sweat. It was the very same formidable enemy he struggled with. Yi Shiwen's combat power is unimaginable. Yi Shiwen's first slash in injuring Yi Hong mortally seemed to have the element of ambush. Bai Hanmo knew it well that Yi Hong was still outmatched in a head-on confrontation. The combat power difference between the two was too far apart. That slash intimidated even the heaven and earth. It appeared unstoppable. After his breakthrough, Yi Shiwen had turned out so strong. At this time, only He Yulong and Yi Rui left. He Yulong was going to deliver the final killing blow on UCC. However, after seeing such a terrifying figure appeared, he immediately fled frantically without hesitation. He flew towards the distance, wanting to escape. Yi Shiwen just smiled coldly. He waved his hand. A sharp saber aura streaked across the vast sky and chased He Yulong. Puff! Accompanied with the sound of saber aura entering the flesh, He Yulong was directly cut in half on the spot. Blood painted the blue sky. The mutilated corpse fell straight from the sky. Although he hated He Yulong, who betrayed them, Xiong Jiqing still showed a sad expression when he saw Yi Shiwen beheading He Yulong. He opened his mouth but was unable to utter a word. He wanted to plead for He Yulong, but he also realized it was inappropriate at all. In the end, his eyes flickered a few times, and he didn't say anything. However, seeing that Yi Shiwen had already exited from close cultivation, he was slightly relieved. He knew the horror laid within Yi Shiwen. This time, he would stand firmly on Yi Zaiwen's side. In addition to the bear team's honor, Yi Zaiwen's terrifying power was an important reason. As long as he could stick to the end when Yi Shiwen exited close cultivation, then he would be worry-free. Although Yi Rui was tough, the opponent was not as scary as Bai Yin. Are you Yi Shiwen? Yi Rui's eyes were cold. He stretched out his crimson tongue and licked his lips, giving off the appearance when encountering a prey. It's effortless to get to you. Are you so sure about defeating me? Said Yi Shiwen lightly. You're just a minute human being. How dare you go against my master? It is God's will to kill you today. You must die. Yi Rui sneered. These trash deserves their death. I alone am enough to take your head, and you all too. You alone? It just so happens I had my breakthrough. I haven't gone all out in a battle yet, replied Yi Shiwen nonchalantly. The thick qi in Yi Zaiwen's body created terrifying ripples with him in the center. The terrifying momentum instantly stirred up endless waves on the sea. At this time, Yi Rui became a little vigilant. This Yi Shiwen is different from the initial information. He's no longer at Transcendent Realm 3rd level but attained the Transcendent Realm 4th level. But what shocked him was that Yi Shiwen was only Transcendent Realm 4th level. And yet this human exuded an aura that trembled his heart. Most importantly, the vigilant Xiong Zhiqing was watching him. Although Yi Rui did not bat an eye on Xiong Zhiqing, it might lead to irreversible consequences if Xiong Zhiqing suddenly intervened at the most critical time. Yi Shiwen had just stepped into the Transcendent Realm 4th level. He did not have the time to have total control over himself. His momentum was soaring like an unsheathed sword. After entering the Transcendent Realm 4th level, Yi Shiwen sensed the earth-shaking changes. This was a power that he could not muster at Transcendent Realm 3rd level. There was a deep dividing line between the Transcendent Realm 3rd level and the Transcendent Realm 4th level. Changes from Transcendent Realm Initial to Transcendent Realm Intermediate were even greater than the changes in the first 3 levels of Transcendent Realm. If he had only entered Transcendent Realm 3rd level from 2nd level at this time, his combat strength could not contend with Yi Rui, who was already at Transcendent Realm 7th level. Transcendent Realm 6th level and Transcendent Realm 7th level had a great dividing line in terms of Transcendent Realm Intermediate to late. Yi Shiwen had no idea how strong he became. With Bai Yin's blood essence and purple ghost fire lotus, he entered the Transcendent Realm 4th level and successfully ascended to the Transcendent Realm 4th level peak. After entering the Transcendent Realm 4th level, it would take a long time for cultivation accumulation. However, Yi Shiwen reached the peak at the level after assimilating the energy from Bai Yin's blood essence and purple ghost fire lotus. At this moment, his realm had become stable as though it was the fruit of cultivation and hard work. This significant improvement was also why so many demonic sea beast experts fought for Purple Ghost Fire Lotus. These Purple Ghost Fire Lotus efficacy was heaven-defying. It could steadily help the demonic sea beast with the demon clan lineage to reach the next level without any ramifications. Although Yi Shiwen was not of the demon clan lineage, he had a tremendous advantage compared to those with the demon clan lineage due to the Tianyuan mirror. Yi Zaiwen's arm was quickly wrapped in a raging fire. He waved his arm, slashing out a terrifying saber aura directly. The saber aura crushed all directions, collapsing the air entwined in the sky. It was like tearing the sky forcibly. Umph! Yi Rui snorted coldly. He stepped out and sent a massive water spear directly. It glinted with endless brilliance and blasted down directly against the oncoming saber aura. Boom! Water spear and saber aura slammed into each other in midair. The horrifying fluctuations quickly swept out an unimaginable terrifying storm in all directions. After the violent collision, Yi Zaiwen's saber aura directly cut through the water spear, blasted it apart, and turned it into rain in the sky. Unabated, the saber aura went straight to Yi Rui once again. Yi Rui's figure dashed away. He could barely avoid this deadly saber aura. The saber aura rubbed his body, and blood sprayed out directly. Yi Rui was immediately shocked. Yi Zaiwen's strength was so terrifying, much more frightening than he thought. In the previous matchup, he suffered a terrible loss. Yi Shiwen almost killed him on the spot, sending him into two halves. If he hadn't reacted quickly enough, he would die in Yi Ziwen's hands on the spot. At this time, Yi Shiwen had already approached. His speed was swift. When Yi Rui felt the danger, Yi Shiwen had already appeared just right in front. The fiery long saber in his hand seemed capable of burning everything, crisped clean. The saber aura slashed across the sky and slammed at Yi Rui's body. Yi Ziwen's fiery saber aura instantly slashed away all the aura barriers on Yi Rui's body. Yi Rui summoned countless demon auras and transformed them into multiple little demon heads. These demon heads darted towards Yi Shiwen. Chapter 932. Another trouble popping in. Soon the demon aura surrounding Yi Rui was depleted in an instant. It turned into little demon heads and shot towards Yi Shiwen. Each demon head was hideous. Their features were blue faces and fangs, just like Azura in the underworld. Most people with weak minds would be frightened to death. Yi Ziwen's expression remained unchanged. All the pores on his body opened, spewing fiery saber auras. He was like a fire that burned in the sky. Those litter demon heads rushed over were either burnt to death or cut in half, unable to get close to Yi Ziwen's body. The attacks blasted Yi Rui away. Only then did he finally understand that he could not judge the person's combat strength in front of him based on the cultivation realm. Although Yi Shiwen was only at the Transcendent Realm 4th level, this human had the terrifying combat strength that could defeat him. Yi Shiwen was peerless among the Transcendent Realm 4th level warriors. Never mind the task assigned to him by Crown Prince Crocodile this time. Surviving through this ordeal posed a challenge. Thinking of this, he disregarded his injuries and ran away frantically into the distance. The rest of the three were dumbfounded. A Transcendent Realm 7th level peak warrior flurried away. Such a scene was unimaginable. Is he still the Yi Shiwen that takes so much effort to defeat Bai Yin? They all saw how sorry of the state Yi Shiwen was at that time. It took some luck to defeat Bai Yin. Otherwise, he could not contend with Bai Yin. But now, the same Transcendent Realm 7th level peak warrior fled in disarray. The trio knew Yi Shiwen had attained a breakthrough, but they didn't expect him to become so strong after the breakthrough. He was different from before. Most people couldn't imagine it. They even wanted to peel off Yi Ziwen's skin to see if it was still Yi Shiwen inside. "We can't let him escape," reminded Xiong Jiqing quickly at this time. But even if he didn't say anything, Yi Shiwen wouldn't let the enemy go. He immediately caught up with him with a stride. It was only a moment's effort that he had caught up with Yi Rui. Without holding off, he beheaded the opponent with a slash. After slaying Yi Rui, all the aura of Yi Ziwen's body gradually converged. He was unlike an unsheathed sword, but more like a sword that had hidden all the edges. He had become another person now, unlike the heroic him just now. It was like having two completely different vibes appearing in one person, which was quite difficult for all three of them to accept it so abruptly. Yi Shiwen, who had ascended to the Transcendent Realm 4th level peak, did not need a long time to consolidate like the others to gain full control of this power. Therefore, he would not worry about whether he might regress like ordinary people after just attaining a breakthrough. Although this possibility was minute for the bigger crowd, it was still a concern they should not be undermined. Once it happened, it could not be undone. Yi Ziwen's expression had not changed. Killing Yi Rui was nothing to him. Yi Rui was strong. If Yi Shiwen did not attain Transcendent Realm 4th level's peak, Yi Rui might become a strong rival. However, it would not be much of a threat after gaining the 4th level's peak state. In the Transcendent Realm 7th level, among the experts Yi Shiwen had ever encountered, only Bai Yin might make him go all out for the battle. Previously, Yi Shiwen had no bearing in combating Bai Yin. If he hadn't relied on Tyrant Body and Phoenix Regeneration Technique, he would have died long ago. He knew this very well too. Only now could he have peace of mind and confidence to win Bai Yin if the battle were to occur again. Bai Yin with an awakened demon god bloodline was terrifying. Yi Shiwen looked at Xiong Jiqing, Yu Cixi, and Bai Hanmo. Although he had been in close cultivation, he still left some part of his spiritual consciousness to the outside world. That was to stay vigilant and not be attacked by others. Therefore, Yi Shiwen witnessed what they did clearly. If the trio did not intervene when Yi Shiwen was in close cultivation, it would be impossible to achieve the current significant progress. These people did live up to his trust and gritted their teeth until the close cultivation was over, especially Bai Hanmo. Yi Shiwen found his performance admirable. Even Yi Shiwen did not expect that Bai Hanmo could go this far. He was committed to fighting to the death. Bai Hanmo's temperament also seemed to have undergone earth-shaking changes. Although he still had the careless vibe, it gave off a sharp essence. This was what Bai Hanmo had always lacked. Everything was too easy for him in the past. Due to this, he gave off a feeling that his potential was untapped despite the outstanding talent. In other words, it was like he was wasting his talent. If this were to continue, his talent would be used up one day. A person's talent was limited, but his talent did not entirely determine a person's achievement. This applied to many people. Their achievements were far beyond their talent, as they said you couldn't judge the book by its cover. Some had wholly wasted their talents and did not achieve incredible feats. What Bai Hanmo lacked was an adventure like this. After gaining these experiences, he could genuinely manifest his talents. Of course, the most important thing was that he seemed to have found his heart. He only could be strong but did not have the strong heart to match it. Yi Shiwen had seen a lot of people like this. They were those who gave up when things went wrong. However, Bai Hanmo's performance this time was impressive. With Bai Hanmo's talent, his future achievements were limitless if he were to work hard. Although he was bothered with Bai Hanmo acting too close to him, it didn't felt bad after a long time. At least this kid did not have bad intentions. Anyway, you all have worked hard, complimented Yi Shiwen. The group did not abandon Yi Shiwen at the moment like this, which moved Yi Shiwen to accept them from the bottom of his heart. He took a step forward and treated Yu Cixi. Among these people, Yu Cixi's injury was the most serious, while Bai Hanmo's situation was the most optimistic. Yi Shiwen didn't know Bai Hanmo's recovery martial art techniques. It only took a while for Bai Hanmo to recover for a large part, at least not in the state of being seriously injured and dying. Xiong Jiqing on the side looked at Yu Cixi, worried. He Yulong was dead. Among the two bear team's successors, only Yu Cixi was left. He could no longer afford to lose the other one. But fortunately, Yi Ziwen's Phoenix regeneration technique was indeed magical. It didn't take long before Yu Cixi had restored to a ruddy complexion. Her chi was quickly restored too. Thank you. Yu Cixi heaved a breath and said with vigor. At this time, she understood why Yi Shiwen was able to contend with Bai Yin and eventually kill Bai Yin. The recovery speed was unprecedented. It could even be said to be unheard of. With such a recovery speed, coupled with a tyrannical physique, this was the trump card that contended with Bai Yin. This was the only reason. You're welcome. It should be me thanking you, replied Yi Shiwen. It was not troublesome for him to treat her. Soon, Yi Shiwen helped Xiong Jiqing and Bai Hanmo with their injuries. Since Yi Shiwen had exposed his capability in this aspect beforehand, he did not mind it any further. Anyway, the team only knew he had a great recovery technique, but none knew its details. Xiong Jiqing and Yu Cixi were delighted. They had been in Chaos Demon Sea for many years. Of course, they knew how important a good recovery martial art technique was in a place like Chaos Demon Sea. It was because Chaos Demon Sea was too chaotic, so many times they had no time to rest before going for the next battle. It was an essential concern on whether they could recover their combat strength. If Yi Shiwen was with them, they didn't need to worry too much about this issue. They had seen with their own eyes that Yi Shiwen had fully recovered to the peak in just a few moments. Regarding this, they were amazed. When it was their teammates' ability, then they were left with a huge surprise. After a little rest, everyone entered short close cultivation and began to digest the experience and gains brought about by this battle. Although the battle was dangerous this time, with their lives endangered, it was fruitful. The experience of wandering by the death door was not something that ordinary cultivation could bring. Only in such constant battles could a breakthrough be attained. But this time, Yi Shiwen didn't enter close cultivation. He had already ascended to Transcendent Realm 4th level peak. It wasn't quite effective to engage in another one. If Yi Shiwen wanted to break through, he would need to rely on actual combat. Therefore, he did not choose to continue close cultivation but began his adventure in this sea region while waiting for Yao Qian to come out of her close cultivation. Chapter 933. The Prince's Trail. He knew very well that when Yao Qian came out of close cultivation again, she must break through and enter the Transcendent Realm's 7th level. The longer the time, the stronger her foundation. Procedurally, the stronger she would become in the future. So he was not in a hurry and waited slowly. The scope of the battle had also been expanded bit by bit. The sea demon experts and demonic sea beasts encountered had become more and more powerful. As Yi Shiwen ventured deeper, the danger had also increased dramatically. In the entire Chaos Demon Sea, a circle radiates outward. Generally speaking, the more inside one was, the greater the danger it would be, and vice versa. Even in the depths of Chaos Demon Sea, there was a terrible existence beyond the Transcendent Realm. The law manifestation existences. Because of the law manifestation existence of the sea demon clans, the Chaos Demon Sea became a huge deal in the Endless Sea region. These sea demon clans and sea beasts had become a stubborn existence. They scattered in the endless Chaos Demon Sea. Above the Endless Sea region, countless spiritual energy and demon aura collide and converge in the sky, creating stormy winds and waves. There was no calm nor peace at every moment. Intense sea breezes were reoccurring. Ordinary people couldn't survive against monstrous sea waves. Therefore, in Chaos Demon Sea, there was no ordinary life. Even creatures below Transcendent Realm did not exist. The creatures below Transcendent Realm could not survive in such a place. Demon aura collided fiercely with spiritual energy at every moment. Except for the Sea Demon clan and demonic sea beasts born with half-demon blood, ordinary humans and sea races could not survive unless they attained Transcendent Realm or higher. Once the demon aura and spiritual energy were both inhaled, the mutual repulsion was enough to cause the expert below Transcendent Realm to explode and die. The great sage warriors would face doom here. But for Yi Shiwen, it did not affect at all. This place was even better for him than a normal half-demon. With the Tianyuan mirror, those violent demon auras would become his nourishment that could not pose any threat to him. As Yi Shiwen killed the nearby sea demons, his area of activities became wider and wider. However, he left a ray of spiritual senses near the place where everyone was in closed cultivation. Once something happened, he could come back in time. However, as he killed all the nearby demonic sea beasts, it was unlikely that any demonic sea beasts would continue to come here. So even if Yi Shiwen left for a long time, no demonic sea beasts would dare to come close. There were too many demonic sea beasts perishing here. They could instinctively perceive the danger. Above the Endless Sea region, a figure flew out over the sea region. The aura barrier on his body was like a sharp sword aura. He broke apart the tidal waves. These waves posed no hindrance to him at all. Yi Shiwen suddenly felt an oppressing figure flying in the sky at a distance. He plunged into the sea without any hesitation and converged all his aura. His aura convergence martial art was significantly improved countless times. Unless it were a head-on encounter, it would not be easy to detect his aura. For an elite warrior, it was better to believe in spiritual consciousness and perception rather than very own eyes. Everyone had the same consensus. Even Yi Shiwen relied more on spiritual senses to detect the dangers around him. After converging all his aura, Yi Shiwen scanned ahead with his spiritual senses immediately. He stared into the air but saw 5 vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan experts fly at the sky. For other sea clans, Yi Shiwen might have mistaken them. After all, they were different clans and there were too many clan groups among the sea race. However, Yi Shiwen would not mistake any of the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan. There was arguably hatred as deep as the sea between him and them. Since he came to the ancient Barons continent, it was as if he had signed up to be the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan's nemesis. There were no ways to recuperate the relationship on two sides. Yi Shiwen frowned slightly. How could the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan's member appear here? Could it be that Crown Prince Crocodile is also here? Thinking of this, Yi Shiwen couldn't help but feel nervous. He also learned that Crown Prince Crocodile was also in Chaos Demon Sea from the memories of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts whom he beheaded. He knew that Crown Prince Crocodile was having the adventure to train himself in Chaos Demon Sea. Among the young experts in the entire Flourished Cloud Sea region, all of them flooded this training place fanatically. Some were in close cultivation, but most went out for an adventure. After all, the new Top 100 competition was about to begin. Perhaps for the majority, they had no obsession with this list. Some of them had other life baggage that prevented them from focusing on their cultivation. But for more people, being able to appear on the Top 100 list was a supreme honor. For Crown Prince Crocodile, it was natural that he would not only be satisfied with leaving his name on the Top 100 list. There was only one goal, and that was to win the championship. In other words, to become the number one among the younger experts of the Flourished Cloud Sea region. Although this statement seemed a bit arrogant, he was the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan's crown prince. He had status, strength, and youth. It was the age when he was the most ambitious. Although he was tyrannical and rarely had a worthwhile opponent among the younger generation, he was not peerless for Crown Prince Crocodile. Therefore, he must compete in the Top 100 competition. He would muster all he got to improve his strength. Chaos Demon Sea was an excellent medium to bring himself to the next level. Some other young experts were also trying their best to temper themselves, such as Yao Qian and Yi Shiwen. Naturally, Crown Prince Crocodile was no exception. No one wanted to give up at this time, and no one would slack off. It was just that Yi Shiwen only heard that Crown Prince Crocodile appeared in Chaos Demon Sea, but he didn't know where Crown Prince Crocodile ventured in Chaos Demon Sea. The Chaos Demon Sea was a tremendous place. It was so big that it was comparable to the South region. In this kind of place, unless the location was known in advance, the probability of finding a particular person was low. Naturally, it was even less likely for Yi Shiwen to look for Crown Prince Crocodile. He would rather be far away from Crown Prince Crocodile than to approach him. Once both sides met, it was bound to be an extremely fierce battle. Yi Ziwen's current strength was clear as day inferior to Crown Prince Crocodile. Yi Shiwen initially thought that he might not encounter Crown Prince Crocodile even until he left this place. However, it was a surprise to see Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts here. In other words, Crown Prince Crocodile could be near here. Thinking of this, Yi Shiwen was shocked and nervous. But after thinking about it, he quietly tailed the group from the sea bottom. He locked his spiritual senses on them firmly. Since Yi Shiwen was careful enough, he was not discovered. Yi Shiwen was also curious about these Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts. Why did the experts come here? Was there any conspiracy? This should lead to some significant discoveries. If this were the case, Yi Shiwen would try his best to ruin their plans. Treating the enemy kindly is cruelty to oneself. Yi Shiwen believed in this creed. His only treatment to these Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts was maximizing damage. He believed that if the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts were in his shoe, they would not let him slip. Until now, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts were still pursuing Yi Shiwen everywhere. So for them, there was no need for pleasantries anymore. Yi Shiwen followed them for hundreds of kilometers. Finally, there was a Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan expert who couldn't help it. He first said, "I wonder why the prince has summoned us this time?" Yi Ziwen's heart suddenly tensed up when he heard this. It is indeed related to the prince. In other words, the prince should be near this place. Thinking of this, his aura convergence martial art ran intensely. All his auras were hidden. If the prince suddenly appeared at this time, he had a high risk of being discovered. By that time, it would be a dead end. I don't know. Now that the prince is doing things more and more mysterious, how can we guess what the prince's goal is? The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan expert next to the first one said impatiently. That being said, the prince is destined to be the next Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan chief in the future. No one can stop him. There are some brats in the clan challenging the prince. They are courting death. They dare to be so presumptuous because they don't know how powerful the prince is. In recent years, the prince's main focus is on the outside battle, so he ignores these challengers. Otherwise, he would have killed them all. But I heard that the prince seems to have discovered a great treasure this time. Chapter 934. Blend in what treasure? The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan member asked, seemingly curious. Rumors said that there is a great demon sealed within the depths of Chaos Demon Sea in our Flourished Cloud Sea region. The aura exuded from the great demon formed the Chaos Demon Sea. Crown Prince Crocodile discovers the treasure left by this demon. Yi Shiwen breathed in cold air when listening. This news was too shocking. The Chaos Demon Sea manifested because a great demon was sealed within. In fact, the Chaos Demon Sea was tremendous. No one could figure out clearly how big this area was. It had been situated in this Flourished Cloud Sea region for many years. Suddenly, someone told him that a great demon was sealed here, thus forming this place. In other words, this great demon was way too horrifying. There were probably more experts in demon domain than he had imagined, far exceeded the perception he had when he was in true martial domain. At true martial domain, the strongest was nothing more than a transcendent realm powerhouse, but sheer numbers of transcendent realm powerhouse could not create such a large-scale chaos demon sea. This demon had way exceeded the transcendent realm caliber. Even the law manifestation experts could not achieve this feat. No one knew what kind of terrifying expert was buried in this place. Now, many experts besides us have received the news. That's why the prince hurriedly summoned us. He must seize the first opportunity in this matter. If the prince obtains the treasure, he won't have any problem to face the Transcendent Realm 9th level experts and even the Law Manifestation experts too. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan expert continued. At that time, with a hero like Prince emerged, the days for us to become the overlord of the Flourished Cloud Sea region won't be far. That's right. Overlord? Keep dreaming. Yi Shiwen sneered. It would be fine for them if Yi Shiwen didn't know about it. Since Yi Shiwen knew their plan, he would not allow them to have a smooth sail on this. Yi Shiwen decided to ruin Crown Prince Crocodile's treasure hunt. Crown Prince Crocodile at Transcendent Realm 8th level was already difficult to deal with. If this enemy ascended to Transcendent Realm 9th level, it would be too great of a gap. At present, the top few experts of the younger generation were Transcendent Realm 8th level without exception. It was not that they could not enter the Transcendent Realm 9th level. They wanted to consolidate their foundation beforehand. It would be too late if they only considered so at the Transcendent Realm 9th level. Whoever felt that he had laid an adequate foundation first and had made up all the previous deficiencies would try for the breakthrough. Immediately, Yi Shiwen made a decision. He chased directly and left a note to Yao Qian with spiritual senses. When they came out, they would see Yi Ziwen's message. Compared to the previous situation, Bai Hanmo, Xiong Jiqing, and others had not entered the deep close cultivation. They could exit that state at any time. If there was any problem, they could also deal with it. After leaving a message, Yi Shiwen immediately followed up without any hesitation. Yi Shiwen stayed at the seabed and flew with these Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan warriors for a day. There were so many vicious demonic sea beasts and sea demon clans in Chaos Demon Sea, so these Vanishing Shadows Poisonous Crocodile clan warriors also experienced a series of tough battles before they could move in the predetermined direction. As they got closer and closer to the center, they encountered more and more demonic sea beasts or sea demon clans opponents. Several tensed battles also took place. However, these Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan warriors beheaded the opponents in the end. But what they didn't know was that Yi Shiwen was also credited for this. Whenever they almost couldn't stand it, Yi Shiwen secretly scared away those demonic sea beasts. They would never have imagined it would be Yi Shiwen saving them in the end, and even secretly. Yi Shiwen couldn't afford to let them die. If they die, then he would lose this clue. For Yi Shiwen to find it on himself, it would undoubtedly waste a long time. However, despite wasting one day's worth of time, Yi Shiwen still didn't see the meeting place. However, as they got closer and closer to the predestined meeting place, Yi Shiwen noticed more and more experts heading to the meeting place. These experts were all the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan warriors too. It appeared that these Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts in Chaos Demon Sea were all gathering here. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan, one of the three primary forces of the Flourished Cloud Sea Regency clan, had instructed many experts on this occasion. Although many forces' boundaries had begun to blur in Chaos Demon Sea, many experts would even cooperate with others. Though, the primary condition was that they were not a nemesis. However, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan was one of the clan groups with the most experts. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts that were initially scattered were all gathered. What a huge crowd! Those who learned about this occasion could not help but feel amazed at the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan's strength. With this, it was apparent that the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan lived up to the name as Experts Gathering Grounds. Some experts had never surfaced in the public eyes too. They had all gathered due to the prince's summon. Yi Shiwen noticed almost all of these Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts were at Transcendent Realm 5th level or 6th level. A minority of the group was Transcendent Realm 7th level experts, let alone Transcendent Realm 8th level and even Transcendent Realm 9th level. It showed that Crown Prince Crocodile's status was not too exaggerated yet. Those Transcendent Realm 8th level experts in the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan seemed not to heed the prince's position at all. Those experts who cultivated to Transcendent Realm 7th level or higher were equivalent to Transcendent Realm late or higher. These talents were once brilliant young experts whose words carried a lot of weight. They were headstrong in their heart. Even if it was a young expert like Crown Prince Crocodile, who had been famous for many years, none of his words could move them. Unless the senior law manifestation expert made a move, it was difficult to order these stubborn warriors. Some of them had backers behind them, allowing them to ignore the prince completely. Many warriors which the prince recruited aren't here. They merely have a death wish. Do they think the prince is kind-hearted? It seems that they have forgotten that the prince showed his majesty by killing some disobedient bunch. Someone was Crown Prince Crocodile's loyal supporter. When he saw this scene, he was irritated. Crown Prince Crocodile was like a deity in his heart. These warriors dared to stand Crown Prince Crocodile up openly. It was unforgivable for him. Which of those warriors are not prideful talents or have a strong backer behind them? Some of them even dare to disrespect elderly predecessor. Seeing this scene, someone sneered. They will regret it one day. Sooner or later, the prince will rule the world. By that time, they will be dead. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert said with a sneer. What happened was the power struggle between those belonging to the Crown Prince's faction and those who weren't. Those gathered here were experts standing at the Crown Prince's side. Yi Shiwen watched the whole scene unfold. In any case, those fighting here were his enemies. Qis circulated Yi Zaiwen's body that was submerged in water. Under the mobilization of this qi, his figure gradually changed. He turned into a Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert. His eyes became crocodilic. Gazing from a distance, Yi Shiwen was simply a Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert with a thin body shape. His aura had become no different to the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts. His aura convergence martial arts skills were advanced. He deduced the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile aura accurately, making himself indistinguishable from them. At this time, he appeared convincing to have the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert identity. He directly left the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan's parade and darted to another sea region. Then, he came back pretending to be a Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert who had just rushed over from a distance. He directly joined the queue with hundreds of Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts. Some of them were baffled by Yi Zaiwen's inferior cultivation. After all, he was in Transcendent Realm 4th level. However, his disguise was beyond doubt. There was an abundance of vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan experts in this chaos demon sea. The clan member couldn't have seen every one of their kin. It was also not surprising that warriors had close cultivation for hundreds of years in Chaos Demon Sea, and even thousands of years. It was just that Yi Ziwen's strength was indeed a bit inferior. With this opportunity, Yi Shiwen successfully blended into Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan's experts' ranks. Quick, everyone! The prince is waiting for us at the front. We have to hurry to meet with the prince. This time, the treasure belongs to our Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan. No one can steal it. At this time, someone among the clan group shouted, exciting the entire parade. The sole purpose of these warriors gathered here was to heed the prince's command. Some were loyal supporters, while some had a more neutral stance. Chapter 935. The poisonous young master Yi Shiwen secretly thought. It appeared that the prince was not the leading one among the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. That was why Ying did not put the prince in his eyes blatantly. They were the leading figures among the younger generation. There was probably a power level gap, but it was more often depicted as an age gap. The road ahead was still very long. There could be a relatively large gap now, but they would be on the same line after a few hundred years. By that time, no one could be certain who would become stronger. The cultivation of a martial artist was a lifetime affair. Winning or losing in a short period was nothing. No one would be brooding because of falling behind temporarily, let alone those prideful talents. They would never surrender because of this. Even though Crown Prince Crocodile had declared his reign harshly in the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan, there were still many dissatisfied clan members. After all, many Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts were similarly arrogant. The power struggle was everywhere. It was just different in scale. Hidden among the crowd, Yi Shiwen looked inconspicuous. He appeared ordinary. Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. No flying ahead. Suddenly, an arrogant voice came from afar. Many Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts looked intently one after another. Another group flew over from the other side of the sea. Seeing the appearance of these warriors, these Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts suddenly changed their expressions. This group had dark skin that was densely covered with small black scales. Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan. A Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan expert stared at this group coldly. Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan. Yi Shiwen suddenly remembered 3 prominent Sea clan forces and 3 central human clan forces, making up a total of 6 forces in the Flourished Cloud Sea region. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was only one of the 3 primary sea clans. There were 2 other sea clans comparable to the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. Among them was this Poisonous Flaming Dragon clan. Among the various sea clans, the Poisonous Flaming Dragon clan was unique. Although they were in the sea region, they had a unique inborn dragon flame. This dragon flame would set ablaze when in contact with the seawater. The longer it burned, the stronger it became. The dragon flame was outstanding. But they merely proclaimed themselves as the Dragon Clan. Everyone knew that they were at best a sub-dragon race with a trace of dragon blood. The dragon was much more common in the ancient Barrens continent than in the true martial domain. In the true martial domain, the dragon clans belonged to the legendary clan, but it was not mysterious in the ancient Barrens continent. Everyone knew that a legendary dragon island inhabited a large number of dragons. In fact, due to the lustful nature of dragons, many clan groups had sub-dragon species. Even among human clans, there were many Wyverians. Among sea clans, there were plenty of sea clans imbued with dragon blood. These bloodlines had long been a mess. There were already too many sub-dragon races for those dragon clans that they didn't even have a clear picture of these races themselves. These races could consider themselves in other clan groups but also be regarded as dragon clans too. It wasn't too surprising. Though, it was still Yi Ziwen's first time to encounter a sub-dragon race among the sea clans. After hearing the legend about the poisonous Flaming Dragon clan and linking their dragon clan bloodlines matter, He found it quite astonishing. It was a miracle that they who used fire attribute martial arts had become one of the overlord clans. As one of the 3 overlords of this flourished Cloud Sea region, the relationship between Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan and Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan was naturally not much better. It was fair to see it pessimistically. The competition between the major forces of human clans focused on development. On the other hand, the competition between these sea clans focused solely on cutthroat battles. The flourished Cloud Sea region was vast. It was still not enough for so many hegemonic forces. If it weren't for the human clans having the spheres of influence above the sea, while the sea clans were mostly under the sea, the fight between the 2 clan races had already become overwhelming and beyond control. In fact, in addition to the flourished Cloud Sea region, there were battles between many human clans and sea clans that were abnormally bloody and cruel. What do your Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan want? At this time, a Transcendent Realm 7th level Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert stood up and said in a stern voice. Although the relationship between the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan and the Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan was terrible, they would usually pay more attention to avoiding large-scale confrontation. If several people ran into each other individually, then an immense fight would take place. However, with both sides having hundreds of experts present, and worse still, all were top-class experts in the clan, a large-scale battle would alert both sides' higher-ups. Excuse me, this is already a no-fly zone. You should take a detour. The Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan takes charge of this place for a 5,000 kilometers radius. At this time, a young Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan member with an ordinary appearance walked out slothfully. He didn't put the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts in his eyes. What a joke! I never heard of someone occupying the Chaos Demon Sea. The Transcendent Realm 7th level Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert sneered and said disdainfully. When I say so, then there is, said the Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan lazily, but the oppressive tone was beyond doubt. What do you think you are? The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert of Transcendent Realm 7th level sneered and said, looking at the Dragon Clan youth. The Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan youth had his eyes flickered slightly. It was an astonishing killing intent. He instantly rushed towards the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert. Shwa! As his figure flickered, he instantly appeared in front of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert. With his 5 fingers close tightly, his hand chop summoned a blood-red hue while in midair. He beheaded Transcendent Realm 7th level Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert directly. His arm was still stained with the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert's blood. His slender and dark fingers slid between his lips. He licked slightly. A faint, distorted pleasure flashed across his face. There was only the sound of the sea breeze blowing the waves between heaven and the earth. Everyone was stunned, especially the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts. They stared at the scene in front of them, stupefied. That was a Transcendent Realm 7th level expert. Even among the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan, there were not many experts at that level. They were powerhouses holding significant power in a territory. They were utterly different from Transcendent Realm 6th level and had entered Vanishing Shadow Crocodile Clan high ranks. Although they were not the leaders among the higher ranks of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan, it was shocking to see one killed with no chance of fighting back. Who the hell is this unbelievable young man in front of me? The Poisonous Young Master. He is the Poisonous Young Master. At this moment, someone among the quiet Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts recognized the unfathomable youth. Immediately, the crowd gasped in cold air. The Poisonous Young Master is one of the Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan's poisonous twins. Oh my god, why do we meet with a disaster like him? How terrible is our luck to encounter him here. Many Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts were sighing. They felt desperate to encounter this disastrous expert. Is the Poisonous Young Master popular? Yi Shiwen asked a Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert next to him. You don't even know him? Said the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert unexpectedly. I have been staying in close cultivation on Chaos Demon Sea all year round. I'm not quite familiar with the younger generation experts emerged now, explained Yi Shiwen. That expert didn't have much doubt. After all, there were cases of close cultivation involving thousands of years. For a warrior with spectacular longevity, few generations had passed. It was not anything surprising. One could meet a senior who had close cultivation for thousands of years randomly. For the martial artist, these situations were common. The Poisonous Young Master is one of the two prominent Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan young experts. We are indeed recognized as one of the three flourished Cloud Sea region overlords similar to them. However, the Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan is the leading clan. In my entire life, I have witnessed two emerging young experts of the Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan, the Poisonous Young Master and the Flaming Young Master, respectively. Both of them are peerless geniuses among, not inferior to the Crown Prince of our clan. With that said, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert sighed. It was undeniable that the Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan was the strongest. Just solely on the younger generation situation, there was only one Crown Prince Crocodile while the Poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan had two elite princes comparable to the Crown Prince. The Poisonous Young Master is proficient in poison arts. To test his new poison art, the creatures in the sea region up to thousands of miles were poisoned to death all at once. It wasn't pleasant. The Flaming Young Master, who has not shown up today, is formidable too. They said that his flame could burn the sea up to thousands of miles endlessly for 3 days and 3 nights. It is still fine to meet with the Flaming Young Master. Unfortunately, the Poisonous Young Master is cruel. None provoked him will meet a good end. If he wants to stop us here, then we have no way to get past, said the expert depressedly. The surrounding Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts also sighed. None dared to rush up anymore. The Poisonous Young Master's cruelty intimidated them. Chapter 936, Sealed Sight, Little Poisonous Bug, you dare to kill my Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan expert? A cold shout came from a distance. A figure descended from the sky with tremendous momentum and appeared in front of everyone. The Crown Prince is here. The first person who noticed the Crown Prince said in surprise. Everyone looked up delightfully. All of these warriors came here at the prince's order. They were the prince's loyal supporters, or at least people who were inclined to Crown Prince Crocodile's side. As they saw the appearance of Crown Prince Crocodile, they were overjoyed. Crown Prince Crocodile snorted coldly, looking at the Poisonous Young Master with a rather cold gaze. These people could be regarded as the backbone he would utilize to fight for power in the future, especially the Transcendent Realm 7th level expert. It would be tough to replenish any shortage of these experts. As the Poisonous Young Master killed one, he was infuriated. I'm just lecturing your dog for you. Facing the aggressive Crown Prince Crocodile, the Poisonous Young Master didn't care at all but sneered. He didn't put the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan whom he killed in his eye. It would be a joke to say that he had any kindness for a person who could poison all the creatures within a radius of 10,000 miles to death. Among these warriors, he only put Crown Prince Crocodile in his eyes, which he regarded as equal footing. The others were just mere ants for him. Some meals can be eaten indiscriminately, and some things can't be spoken indiscriminately, warned the Poisonous Young Master lightly. After saying that, he shut his mouth. He didn't plan to explain further. In fact, if it weren't Crown Prince Crocodile pressing the question on him, he would not even bother explaining since the group did not qualify to make him do so. Even if my dog makes a mistake, you don't have the right to lecture them, retorted Crown Prince Crocodile coldly. His face was slightly ashen. As the Crown Prince, when did he suffer a grievance at his level? He had always been the one bullying others, but the Poisonous Young Master in front of him was different. It was even more difficult to be dealt with in comparison to the Unparalleled Sword. Although the Unparalleled Sword was tricky, it was only one foe. He could not start a fight as he desired. However, it was a different case for the poisonous young master. He had a backer that was even more terrifying than the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan. All of these considerations prevented him from arbitrarily attacking the poisonous young master. Whatever. The poisonous young master yawned as if he didn't care about Crown Prince Crocodile's threat. Tieske, did you assemble your clan expert to a hell march? Don't be nosy. Crown Prince Crocodile didn't want to reveal any information to the poisonous young master. He replied in a cold voice and then commanded his vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan experts, "Let's go!" The poisonous flaming dragon clan experts did not stop the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan experts from leaving. Since Crown Prince Crocodile had arrived, they had no way to stop it. Among the younger generation's top experts, the poisonous young master and Crown Prince Crocodile were both top-ranked existences. Both sides did not have a reason to engage in a cutthroat battle yet. As they probed each other's strength, their knowledge against each other did not suffice for an advantageous battle. Yi Shiwen followed these vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan experts and went past the poisonous flaming dragon clan. Those poisonous flaming dragon clan members stared at the crocodile clan coldly and didn't do anything else. Everyone in the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan flew for a long journey. The team's atmosphere was still solemn. Due to the poisonous flaming dragon clan encounter just now, everyone's mood was dull. Crown Prince, where are we heading this time? At this time, one of the experts finally mustered the courage to ask. Everyone could see that Crown Prince Crocodile was in a rather foul mood. It only calmed down a little bit. In the face of these experts who might become his foundation in the future, Crown Prince Crocodile did not conceal it. He turned around and glanced across the crowd. However, when he saw Yi Shiwen, he was a little startled. He did not expect a Transcendent Realm 4th level warrior would participate. In this Chaos Demon Sea, the Transcendent Realm 4th level could only protect itself. It was just a faint surprise before the Crown Prince directed his gaze elsewhere. This time, someone found the demon-sealed site in the depths of Chaos Demon Sea. According to our investigation, the demon-sealed site is the root cause of the Chaos Demon Sea's manifestation. Crown Prince Crocodile said in a deep voice, "They said that there is an ancient battlefield inside." The ancient battlefield was left behind when the demon was sealed, slowly forming a sealed site. Hearing what Crown Prince Crocodile said, everyone was a little surprised. It turned out to be an ancient battlefield. The harvest in it would be indispensable. Ancient battlefields often had all kinds of loot, like treasures and superb martial art techniques. Needless to say, those ancient and superb martial art techniques were more potent than what the current world could offer. Any of the ancient martial art techniques would help a warrior soar to the sky in the future. The dead experts might also have left behind various magic treasures on them. Possessing any one of them through a refinement process could escalate one's strength to the next level. The progression was faster in comparison to harvesting ancient martial art techniques. Not to mention the wondrous treasures, most of those who died on ancient battlefield were top experts. After they die, their flesh and blood could manifest incredible treasure. Even their flesh and blood were already rare treasures, ingredients that would be rare to obtain. Thinking of this, everyone's breathing became heavier. Some warriors who had received the news a long time ago couldn't help but nod their heads. Sure enough, just like the news they had received early in the morning, it was indeed an ancient battlefield. Ancient battlefield. Yi Shiwen thought to himself secretly. Fierce battles happen almost every moment in this world. With terrifying war breaking out, the number of deaths soared. The deceased, at a long time later, might possibly form an ancient battlefield. The same applied to the true martial domain. However, the ancient battlefield in the true martial domain had no way to compare with the ancient battlefield on the ancient Barrens continent. However, these ancient battlefields might be a good opportunity, but at the same time the marching to hell. Some warriors had gained countless wealth from them, but more had died tragically in these places. However, the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan, worthy of being one of the 3 flourished Cloud Sea region's overlords, could gather many experts quickly. If it were true martial school, it would be unimaginable to launch a treasure hunt like this. Now, all the major forces have received the news, and they are all coming. However, the opening of that sealed site is quite recent. It is too late to gather more clan members. In addition to you all, there may be Law Manifestation Realm elders who will take part personally," said Crown Prince Crocodile lightly. "After this event is over, you will gain many benefits. As long as you can survive, benefits are guaranteed. As for those idiots who refuse to come, there will be nothing for them." Hearing what Crown Prince Crocodile said, everyone immediately condemned the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts refused to come. The crowd cheered. For them, this sealed site represented countless opportunities. Although it could be dangerous, no one would feel that they would be the ones suffering the bitter end. They all thought that they would reap significant benefits instead of the others. It was best to have a lesser mouth to feed, let alone reduce the number of shares massively. Yi Shiwen sneered. Crown Prince Crocodile cheered the silly group with a few words. They easily believed that they could get many benefits from it, and they could stand out from the crowd afterward. They had neglected the number of experts who died. Those with inadequate strength only had a one-way ticket. Of course, the strength, in this case, did not solely depend on the sheer cultivation realm but also the ability to preserve one's life and so on. Those poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan experts dare to keep everyone out. It's foolish. We don't do such stupid things. We use our strength to seize the benefits, the prince announced in a deep voice. Yes, that's right. We can't do silly things like the poisonous Flaming Dragon Clan. Yes, indeed. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts echoed. This time, there may be many law manifestation experts who will be alarmed. It isn't our goal to enter the deepest part of the sealed site. There are many loots in the peripheral area. As long as everyone does a good job, I will not keep the reward to myself. Crown Prince Crocodile glanced at the crowd with his crocodile eyes. I wish to serve the prince. Your Highness, we will serve in our best ability. These Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts announced their loyalty. In order not to appear too conspicuous, Yi Shiwen also pretended to say a few words. He already had a plan deep down in his heart. It appeared that the Chaos Demon Sea's Demon's sealed site was divided into internal areas and external areas. At this time, Yi Shiwen finally understood why Crown Prince Crocodile had to bring so many experts. If this Chaos Demon Sea was formed because of the demons sealed here, this sealed site must be chaotic. After all, it was the most central area of the Chaos Demon Sea. Among the visitors here, never mind the Transcendent Realm 9th level warriors, even the Law Manifestation Realm monsters would be here. Crown Prince Crocodile had no way to fend off himself in the face of these terrifying monsters. Those under his lead could become cannon fooders when necessary. Although Crown Prince Crocodile did not say it openly, this should be the case in considerations of the previous poisonous young master's words. If there were any danger at a critical moment, the Crown Prince Crocodile would sacrifice the pawn to protect the king. He wouldn't hesitate to give up his followers. Thinking of this, Yi Shiwen increased his vigilance and swore to be more careful. Chapter 937. Entering the sealed site. Of course, he was scheming against the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan. If he could, he would give a grand gift to the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan. Yi Shiwen's blood began to boil due to the presence of many flourished Cloud Sea region young elites. Unparalleled Sword, Crown Prince Crocodile, Poisonous Young Master and Flaming Young Master. Even if other experts who were not on the top 100 list were taken into account, the aforementioned elites stood at the pyramid top. In the true martial domain, Yi Shiwen was invincible already. With these elites emerging, he felt excited. Most importantly, law manifestation experts would be dispatched. Generally speaking, the law manifestation experts were at the ranks of elders and supreme elder in the major forces. Each of them was an antique, the living fossil in its own force. They would be cultivating if they were not in emergency, fighting for their fate against the sky. This time, even they were dispatched. The danger lay in this sealed site was far more dangerous than Yi Shiwen thought. After all, manifesting such a large-scale chaos demon sea was not something that law manifestation could do. In other words, the demon sealed in it was at an unfathomable level. After countless years, his strength should have weakened countless fold. It was still extremely dangerous for Yi Shiwen, who was now only at Transcendent Realm 4th level. If it were not for Tianyuan Mirror, Yi Shiwen would have left directly. Some places might be places of adventure, but more often than not it would be the grave. If this place could be eradicated, the major forces in the Flourished Cloud Sea region would have teamed up and eradicated the Chaos Demon Sea already. Since the place was still there with its existence acquiesced, it also meant that the law manifestation experts couldn't do anything about it. It was fair to overestimate the danger lay in such a place. Fortunately, Yi Shiwen had a chance to flee due to his Tianyuan Mirror, even if he encountered a law manifestation demon. Also, he would not feel at ease to let Crown Prince Crocodile go about alive. As the Crown Prince finished speaking, everyone continued their journey and flew forward. As compared to just now, everyone's mood had improved significantly. Thinking of the various magic treasures, superb martial art techniques that might exist on ancient battlefield, everyone suddenly felt a lot more energetic. Yi Shiwen, if you encounter any danger, don't hesitate and leave right away. Yi Mo's voice came in Yi Ziwen's mind at this time. There may be remnants from the time demon domain invaded the ancient Baron's continent. The defeated soldiers who came here were terrifying existences even though the invasion had failed. Or else they would have died long ago. Even if they were not dead, they would slowly die of old age in the seal. Those who survived till now would not be simpletons. Compared to what Yi Mo mentioned, Crown Prince Crocodile and his like only knew the surface about the demon clan. Yi Shiwen nodded. When facing these demon clan experts, Yi Mo was his greatest insurance. Without Yi Mo and Tianyuan Mirror, his only viable option was to flee away. There were many opportunities to kill Crown Prince Crocodile. When his strength escalated in the future, there would be opportunities sooner or later. There was no need for the rush. Everyone flew forward for almost an hour and they encountered another group of experts. There appeared to be a dozen of warriors, including Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts and Sea Demon Clan's experts. All of them were under the Crown Prince Crocodile with excellent influence. The weakest one was at Transcendent Realm 7th level. There were a couple with their cultivation realm unfathomable. Obviously, they had far exceeded the Transcendent Realm 8th level. Otherwise, their cultivation would not stay hidden. Compared to the crowd, this warrior group was Crown Prince Crocodile's closest confidants. Crown Prince Crocodile would rely on them after he took power in the future. They would be ruling places in Crown Prince Crocodile's names. These cronies were beyond the rest. Among these warriors, Yi Shiwen paid most attention to the two. One of them was the Sea Demon Clan's expert with a hideous face. He was somewhat similar to Irue, and the other was a Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan young expert with a smug face. Only when he saw Crown Prince Crocodile did he humble himself slightly. Both of their cultivations were unfathomable. They must have already ascended over the Transcendent Realm 8th level. Although they might not be as good as Crown Prince Crocodile, they were much stronger than the others. If the cronies were on the top 100 list, they could compete for the top 10, shocking the world stage. However, they willingly became Crown Prince Crocodile's henchmen. Iwen found Crown Prince Crocodile's power much more powerful than he imagined. The Crown Prince had recruited talents everywhere. All in all, this revealed the danger lay within Crown Prince Crocodile. Even Transcendent Realm 8th level experts willingly became his subordinates. This was a crucial clue on how much influence the Crown Prince Crocodile had. As a result, it was safe to say that Crown Prince Crocodile was already invincible in the Transcendent Realm 8th level. Yi Shiwen understood that once disaster struck, Crown Prince Crocodile would abandon his men to preserve his life. Once the danger was alarming, he would not hesitate to abandon his cronies too. A cold-blooded figure like Crown Prince Crocodile could give up on anyone else apart from himself. "Let's go," said Crown Prince Crocodile lightly. Behind him, his cronies took the lead to follow, and then the experts gathered from other places followed closely. The close relationship with the Crown Prince was clear at a glance. But Yi Shiwen didn't care. He even stayed at the end of the group. He just followed unhurriedly. Of course, he appeared struggling to follow the group. He was just a general Transcendent Realm 4th level warrior. Among these Transcendent Realm 5th level to 7th level experts, he was at the bottom. God knows if Yi Shiwen performed well. No one noticed the inferior clan member at all. No one noticed Yi Shiwen was a threat in the journey. Everyone flew for another quarter of an hour. Finally, they were able to fly to the sealed site. When they arrived at the sealed site, they discovered that Chaos Demon Sea outside was so calm compared to the sealed site. In Chaos Demon Sea, there were waves at a height more than 10 meters everywhere. That was considered scary already. In this sealed site, due to the howling and collision of dense demon auras, the waves were at least 100 meters. Everyone immediately set up their respective aura barrier to isolate these demon auras outside their body, except for those half-demons. It was impossible for an ordinary warrior to absorb these demon auras. For them, these demon auras were harmful with no benefits. Spiritual energy and demon aura accounted for each half of the Chaos Demon Sea. Their only option was to absorb the spiritual energy and exclude the demon aura. However, they could not feel the slightest amount of spiritual energy. Hence, they would have to consume their own chi, whether it was martial arts technique or flying. Although each of them was a Transcendent Realm expert with strong chi, they still had to be careful. When battle occurred, it would bring upon hefty consumption. They had to apply medicinal drugs to replenish the consumed chi. Only Yi Shiwen was unaffected. Tianyuan Mirror could transform these demon auras into spiritual energy which he could absorb. In such an environment, apart from sea demon clans, he was like a fish in water. Even sea demon clans would not be able to contend this advantage. After all, they were half-demon. In such an environment with rich demon aura, they could not go all out in battles. They still relied on spiritual energy. So, a prolonged battle had become Yi Shiwen's biggest advantage. If there was a fight with others here, the unlimited chi would be his true trump card. By the time others discover this, it would already be too late. There would be no chi at that time. Yi Shiwen could do whatever he wanted to his opponent. Be careful, everyone. In this sealed site, there is not a trace of spiritual energy. When you don't have to, you must be careful to slow down on chi consumption. The veteran experts reminded straight away. They had faced this situation many times. Yi Shiwen also propped up his aura barrier to prevent being too conspicuous. The howling demon aura wind became softer. Only then did he have time to look at the sealed site. This sealed site looked like a huge barrier, shrouded in a radius of tens of thousands of miles or even a larger area. Demon aura wind fanned it from time to time. The barrier appeared thin, most likely due to countless years of consumption. Even the seal had begun to loosen a little. In general, the seal was to kill those demon heads. No one expected that the life force of this demon was stronger than what they imagined. Even though the barrier began to loosen a little, the demon was not dead yet. It released a demon aura stronger than ever. On the group's side of the seal, there was a huge crack torn out from top to bottom. It should be the work of a massive claw. Countless demon aura wind blew on it, howling like a demon. Chapter 938. Attack of the Giant Demon. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan's group only stayed outside the crack for a while. They rushed into the crack under Crown Prince Crocodile's leadership. As soon as they entered, everyone felt the terrible demon aura wind rushing towards their faces. The demon aura wind they felt outside was whistling, but they realized that the demon aura wind outside was less intensive after entering. Tiske, foods are here. Ha! Tiske, I can smell flesh and blood. As soon as the group entered, they immediately sensed hundreds of transcendent realm demons through the oncoming demon aura winds. At this moment, these demons darted towards the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan. These demons were sealed countless years in this sealed site. Only darkness loomed there every day and night. They were immediately alerted with living things coming in. The vital blood essence on these intruders' bodies attracted their attention. "You're seeking death." Crown Prince Crocodile snorted coldly. In his eyes, killing intent was awe-inspiring. He suffered a bitter loss in the face of the poisonous young master just now. His heart was burning with anger already. These approaching demons were an excellent medium for him to vent. A long crystal spear appeared in his hand. This long crystal spear was made of a mysterious purple crystal. Even in a dark space, it radiated glaring light. It suited Crown Prince Crocodile's personality. He would shine wherever he was. Crown Prince Crocodile thrust his long crystal spear forward. A simple action directly pierced the vast sky. 10 demons darted forward alongside the howling demon aura. Wind instantly exploded. They were all Transcendent Realm-level demons. Each of them was capable of stirring up a considerable disturbance in the outside world. However, they were so vulnerable in the hands of Crown Prince Crocodile. Yi Shiwen didn't care about the roaring demon. He just looked at Crown Prince Crocodile. It was only an ordinary spear, but it had incredible power. Crown Prince Crocodile had shown his distinguished strength compared to the typical Transcendent Realm 8th level warriors. Crown Prince Crocodile did have his strength. He might enter the Transcendent Realm 9th level at any time, making him incomparable with the ordinary Transcendent Realm 8th level. The Transcendent Realm 8th level was not worthy of being his enemy at all. It was like Yi Shiwen, who could quickly kill the Transcendent Realm 7th level expert. Even the Transcendent Realm 7th level peak expert had no way to fight back in his struggle with Yi Shiwen. Both Yi Shiwen and Crown Prince Crocodile were the uncontended kings in their respective realms. Yi Shiwen did not bat an eye at the crowd. What he paid attention to was the 2 Transcendent Realm 8th level experts and the Crown Prince Crocodile. Particularly Crown Prince Crocodile, who could inflict critical injury on him. Puff! Yi Shiwen directly slapped an onslaught demon to death. These Transcendent Realm 2nd level and 3rd level demons were unmatched to him at all. Yi Shiwen appeared only at the Transcendent Realm 4th level. The enemies that judge his combat power solely by his realm would suffer a lot. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan elites indeed had their respective trump cards. The demons darted over were outmatched. After eliminating these demons, Yi Shiwen finally had time to investigate the scenes inside the sealed site. Unlike the boundless sea region outside, what lay inside the sealed site was a boundless continent. At a glance, this continent spanned more than tens of thousands of miles. No one knew how long the landmass was formed. The land began to break apart suddenly, with cracks appearing one after another, as if there was a massive figure about to emerge from it. Then, a black figure quickly darted to the vast sky and launched a grasp directly at the group of Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. "Get off!" Crown Prince Crocodile didn't even bat an eye and roared directly. He shot his long crystal spear out. The blast from the spear aura trembled the world. Boom! A loud noise came from midair. The spear tip collided with the black figure in the air, directly setting off terrifying demon aura wind and dispersing the demon aura wind in all directions. Yi Shiwen and other experts also put up thicker aura barriers to resist this terrifying demon aura wind. Crown Prince Crocodile's long crystal spear stopped the black figure barely. Only then the crowd saw the figure. It was a huge, hairy, and fluffy arm. Everyone was shocked. There is such a terrifying monster in this underground. What the heck is this? While stopping this giant demon claw, Crown Prince Crocodile also trembled several steps backward. He was a little surprised. He knew very well how terrifying his spear was. To reach such an outcome, this demon was more potent than he thought. At this time, the demon in the ground thundered from the ground and sat up. Everyone finally saw the true form of the demon. The demon's figure was like a hill. It was black-skinned with a blue face and demonic fangs. The gigantic demon had crimson-red eyes, making him much more terrifying. His hands were so massive that it could send out gales easily. The giant demon of the demon clan. This demon type was generally lower in intelligence. In the demon domain's army, it was often the main force of the attack. It was a relatively common clan group in the demon clan. Despite it being inferior to the 8 imperial clans, the giant demon clan was still formidable. At this time, another vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan young expert flew out. It was one of those 2 transcendent realm 8th level experts. Yi Shiwen also knew from others about this vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan's young expert's name was Yi Xing. Among the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan, he was also one of the top experts, second only to Crown Prince Crocodile. However, no one knew what happened later. Crown Prince Crocodile recruited him, and he became the henchman under Crown Prince Crocodile. Eat my sword. Yi Xing grasped a sword exuding the power akin to heaven's might. As the character vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan second only to Crown Prince Crocodile, he naturally still had some preferential treatments. As the sword slashed at the vast sky, monstrous sword shadows fell on the giant demon. Dang! The sword aura slashed on the giant demon's body, producing loud metal clangs. As a matter of fact, these giant demons were difficult to deal with. After all, they were the main attacking force in the demon domain army. If they did not have rough and thick skin hide, they would not be the main attack force. Due to this trait also, it was tough to injure them, let alone killing them. Although these giant demons had low intelligence, each of them was extremely brutal and bloodthirsty. They were terrifying and difficult to fight with. This slash failed to injure the giant demon. Rather, it thoroughly angered the giant demon who had been sleeping for so many years. With a roar, his thick and long arm resembled a black bolt of lightning had grabbed towards Crocodile Xing, filthy animal. At this time, another Sea Demon Clan Transcendent Realm 8th level expert made a shot. This expert was named Yi Shi. Yi Shiwen got the news that Yi Shi and Yi Rui were brothers. Crown Prince Crocodile had recruited him long ago. The Sea Demon Clan expert blasted out punches precisely the same as that of Yi Rui, but it was even more terrifying. It was at a completely different level. The fist pressure swept down in an instant, absorbing the endless demon aura around. Then it smashed down fiercely. For the sea clans and human clans, this place was undoubtedly an unbearable environment. However, it was nothing for half-demon. Or for him, whether it was in an environment with dense spiritual energy or a demon-ore-filled environment, there was not much difference. The giant demon suddenly moved. He directly slapped Yi Shi and bumped into that fist. Boom! It was another loud explosion. Facing the giant demon's terrifying power, Yi Shi's performance was much worse than that of the prince. He was directly blown away and flew out more than 10 meters in a row. Only then he managed to stop. However, Yi Shiwen knew that this might not be a manifestation of his true strength. The giant demon's terrifying power alone could even be compared to the dragon. Face-to-face confrontation with the giant demon was undoubtedly disadvantageous. Even Yi Shiwen would not want to fight with the giant demon on the strength aspect alone. Immediately after the clash, Crown Prince Crocodile's attack came again in an instant. It happened too swiftly. The long spear pierced the vast sky like a dragon and instantly plugged into the giant demon's body. However, the spear tip could only reach the muscle layer's depth before it was thoroughly stopped. It was as if the giant demon's skin was sturdy as iron. Although the entire spear's head pierced into its body, it was nothing more than a needle for the giant demon at the size of a hill. The severe pain agitated the giant demon completely. The giant demon let out deafening roars in rage. The roar echoed in the surrounding. Many transcendent realm demons were attracted into the battle here. The vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan warriors had no time to support the 3 leading figures, including Crown Prince Crocodile. Although these demons were weaklings, any mistakes would lead them torn to pieces on the spot. More than a dozen demons surrounded Yi Shiwen in an instant. But he ignored it. He put all his attention on Crown Prince Crocodile. Chapter 939. The troublesome giant demon Yi Shiwen was secretly plotting in his heart. If it were possible, he would strike a fatal ambush and bury Crown Prince Crocodile here directly. This idea, if known, would be shocking. Crown Prince Crocodile was by no means a typical Transcendent Realm 8th level expert. Even a Transcendent Realm 9th level expert would find it difficult to take him down. Even the average Transcendent Realm 8th level experts would not dare to have such an idea. If one were not careful, Crown Prince Crocodile's counterattack would make him die on the spot. Yi Shiwen was not the average Joe. He would make the best preparation possible. He had demon wings. He just had to deliver a fatal blow on Crown Prince Crocodile at a critical moment. However, he could only pay extra attention at this time. More and more demons appeared around the group. The giant demons seemed to have summoned them. The giant demon should be the king of this parameter. He was troublesome and hard to deal with. Transcendent Realm experts, which were not often seen in the outside world, were rich in numbers here. They emerged continuously from the surrounding areas. This sealed site existed for countless years, undisturbed by the outside world. These Transcendent Realm level demons were thousands in numbers at the sealed site. For the demons lower than the Transcendent Realm level, the other demons would swallow them and transform the victims into their power. These demons didn't care about their compatriots. They were already irrational. Being locked in such a dark place all the time, these demons were more murderous and bloodthirsty compared with the demon clan in the demon domain. Die! Crown Prince Crocodile sneered. The crystal spear in his hand instantly pierced the vast sky and hit the giant demon again. However, it only made a small hole in the body of the giant demon. He had no other way to deal with the giant demon. Of course, the giant demon was not bothered with this kind of wound. It confronted Crown Prince Crocodile directly. Its gigantic arm was like a mountain ranger pouring over. Its hand was tremendous as it smashed from the sky. With the endless demon aura wrapped in his hand, he almost collapsed the sky. Bang! The massive demon palm slapped at Crown Prince Crocodile, sending Crown Prince Crocodile directly into the air. Crown Prince Crocodile's body immediately glowed with aqua blue light. Many water-attributed treasures activated, protecting him in it. His face turned extremely ugly. The giant demon in front of him was difficult to deal with. He also recognized the origin of this giant demon. After all, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was still one of the 3 overlords of the flourished Cloud Sea region. The clan had a profound background and a long history. The clan might have survived through the war between the ancient Barons continent and the demon domain. The information retained would include the giant demon. Hence, the clan was well versed with the giant demon's characteristics. Having good knowledge was different from confronting the giant demon directly. The classics only mentioned that the giant demon was great in strength. There was no record of how great the giant demon's physical strength would be. It was simply a force capable of terraforming. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was considered a sea clan with excellent physical strength, aside from the rare Giant Tortoise clan and a few other clan groups. In comparison with the giant demon, the Crocodile clan was still inadequate. In the face-to-face confrontation on physical strength, Crown Prince Crocodile was at a disadvantage and suffered a lot, but he was helpless with it. He had never imagined the magnifying physical strength alone for countless times could attain such a terrifying level of damage. Speaking of this giant demon, it was slow with poor martial art, not to mention having low intelligence. Such a being was only suitable for charging at the front, a solid weapon to break through the enemy lines. Originally, Crown Prince Crocodile was somewhat dismissive of the giant demon. After all, it had no wisdom but a slave race under the other's manipulation. But it exceeded the expectation that when the giant demon became terrifying, it would be so frightening. After the pure power was exerted to the extreme, it could have such fearsome power. At this time, Yi Xing and Yi Shi also rushed up, helping Crown Prince Crocodile by dragging down the giant demon. At this time, they didn't dare to be arrogant and utilized the lost techniques hidden up their sleeves. They kept bombarding the giant demon's body. The furious giant demon kept waving its huge arms in the sky. Although the giant arms seemed slow, it had formed a gravitational acceleration in the air by virtue of its terrifying might. The attack came forward in an instant. It was as fast as lightning and frightening. At this time, the Crown Prince Crocodile, who was not far away, rushed up again and shouted, "Everyone, be careful of this giant demon's physical strength. The best way we can take the fight is to besiege him. We will drag him down with a slow death." After Crown Prince Crocodile finished speaking, he felt aggrieved. He was the Crown Prince Crocodile. He had never suffered a bitter loss at this caliber. He blatantly confronted his enemies head-on. Only the others were afraid of him, and he had not suffered aggrievedly. But at this time, his combat experience told him that if he didn't want to be beaten to death, he should not blatantly contend with this monster in terms of strength. That would not be worthwhile at all. Yi Shiwen kept spectating the trio besieging the giant demon. Although it seemed that the three of them were a little aggrieved, he knew that the defeat of this giant demon was only a matter of time. This giant demon did not have the overwhelming power to kill Crown Prince Crocodile and the others. All it relied on was the physical strength he was proud of. If Crown Prince Crocodile didn't commit an all-out fight with it, then the sturdy physical strength it took pride in was merely a joke. Despite it being a matter of time, Crown Prince Crocodile could not bear to delay much longer. In this sealed site, everyone desired to be faster than others to get to the treasures first. So, Crown Prince Crocodile couldn't afford to delay any further. He had to resort to his ultimate technique. If Yi Shiwen were put into the same shoe, this would be his only option too. In any aspect, if one could exert it at the extreme, it would have unprecedented power. Puff, puff, puff. Yi Ziwen's palm formed a saber. He chopped a few demons in half smoothly and without difficulty. At this time, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts next to Yi Shiwen nodded with satisfaction when they saw Yi Shiwen defeat the enemies with ease. Initially, they were all a bit baffled. How could people like Yi Shiwen at Transcendent Realm 4th level dare to enter the dangerous sealed site? Not to mention the sealed site, even in Chaos Demon Sea, Transcendent Realm 4th level warriors would still be in great danger. Once they encounter the powerful Sea Demon Clan's experts or the Sea Clan's experts, their only fate was demise. Yi Ziwen's performance had utterly dispelled their suspicion. Indeed, some warriors' strength should not be judged only by their realm. The enemies confronted Yi Shiwen were at the Transcendent Realm 2nd level to the 3rd level. Many Transcendent Realm 4th level demons halted in front of other Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts. But even so, Yi Ziwen's performance was shocking. They said those with the skill and courage would dare to step into danger. How could Yi Shiwen survive in this Chaos Demon Sea if he was not capable? Yi Shiwen did not heed the surprised eyes. Anyway, he did not plan to stay in the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan group for a long time. He put all his attention to the battle happening at Crown Prince Crocodile and the rest. Most warriors did not pay their attention here. They knew that their battles were simply irrelevant. The number of deaths would not have a tangible impact on the situation. The main focus was on the battle that took place at Crown Prince Crocodile's side. If Crown Prince Crocodile won, then they would be saved. When Crown Prince Crocodile was freed from being occupied, then all problems would disappear. But in the same way, if Crown Prince Crocodile failed, terrible fate awaited them. The abundance of demons in the sky had surrounded everyone. They would not have a chance to escape as well. At this time, in any case, they could only hope that Crown Prince Crocodile and others could defeat the giant demon. That was their only way to survive. So, Yi Ziwen's achievement did not attract too much attention. Of course, unlike them, Yi Shiwen hoped that Crown Prince Crocodile and others would die tragically on the spot. As for escape, it was not a problem for Yi Shiwen, who owned demon wings. It was not easy for the law manifestation experts to catch up with Yi Shiwen. Moreover, these Transcendent Realm level demons could not stop Yi Shiwen at all. "Hurry up and kill him. We can't delay that long," said Crown Prince Crocodile coldly. Then, at this time, both Yi Xing and Yi Shi nodded their heads. They really couldn't afford to lag behind any further. If they were late, then there would be only leftovers when they arrived. Thinking of this, the three of their eyes began to look fierce, especially Crown Prince Crocodile. Monstrous water waves suddenly appeared under their feet, sweeping toward this giant demon wave after wave. Crown Prince Crocodile submerged in these water waves. He lurked swiftly over to the giant demon like a water snake. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.